What's up, everybody? My name is James Evenson. I am a round-the-world sailor with over 80,000 miles at sea, and through that hard-earned knowledge, I am going to relay to you today my 10 worst sailboats to buy this year. Let's go. So in today's video, we're going to limit the boats to under $50,000, and we're going to talk about the 10 boats that I really do not like in this price range. Then I'm going to do a live stream and I'm going to show you today what's available right now on Yacht World. So if you'd like to be part of that, stay tuned after the video and I'll be doing that live stream. If you miss it, you can go back and you can push this button and it'll show up for you. Okay, let's get into the boats. All right, in no particular order, these boats are the 10 boats in the under $50,000 category for cruisers, okay? That doesn't mean that they're not good boats. It just means that as a cruising boat, as a boat you want to take around the world, they're not great. Number 1, the Formosa 41. This boat has some of the most beautiful lines of any sailboat on the water. It looks like it just came out of a pirate movie, and honestly, that's where it belongs, because it doesn't have any business being sailed around the world. This is a Bob Perry designed boat. Bob Perry is a very prolific designer. He designed some of the best sailing boats in the world, and there are much better options that he designed, such as the Lafitte 44, the Tiana 37, the Passport 40, Saga 43, Valiant 42. Any of these boats would be better than the Formosa series. Now, the Formosa was designed by Bob Perry, but actually it's been ripped off over the years. It's been called the CT, the Yankee Clipper, the Mariner 41. And the sad thing about this boat is, even with Bob Perry being the designer and a lot of these boats being made in the famous Taoxing yard in Taiwan, it just fails to deliver. They don't sail well. They're heavy, they're slow, they don't point well. It's just not what you want for an offshore cruiser. All right, so don't get that boat. Okay. Boat number 2, the Morgan Out Island 41. This boat is actually very close to my heart as I used to own one, and yes, I very much disliked it. It doesn't sail well, it's got a full keel and a shallow draft, so you're actually getting the worst of both worlds there. They do some things well. They sit on anchor well. They're great anchor boats. If you want to buy a liveaboard boat, go for it. That's a great boat. These boats were built for chartering in the Bahamas. They're built super strong. They're solid inch fiberglass, the whole hull, and it's an encapsulated keel. So you can't kill this boat, and that is its downfall. They don't sail well. They don't point well. They're just not that great of a sailboat. I see a lot of these boats on anchor around the world, and that's the ticket, on anchor. There's one right here in Panama. It's been there forever. He takes it out sometimes, but he doesn't take it very far. I've never once pulled into a faraway anchorage and seen a Morgan Out Island 41 just sitting there, you know, with a happy crew on it. They're just not great cruising boats. Don't buy that. Number 3, under 50 grand, the CSY 44 Walkover. Now, if you have one of these, I'm very sorry, but this is one of my least favorite boats just because of the way that you have to get out of the cabin and go outside the boat to get in the aft part of the boat. It's like having a 29-foot boat and then another 10-foot boat attached to the back of it. It's stupid. They should have made this boat with the walk-through like every other boat nowadays, but this design just sucks because of that. Also, the engine is crammed under the cockpit with no way to get to it from the top, so it makes engine maintenance a real chore. And they're heavy, they're sluggish, they're not good sailors, and it just makes it not a viable option for a cruising boat. I know a few people that have bought this boat, and nobody has been cruising on this boat. I have never once seen this boat out in any anchorages. So unfortunately, if you buy this boat naively, you're going to sink a bunch of money into it, and you're never going to go anywhere. That's my prognosis, I'm sorry. Okay, next is the Catalina 38. The Catalina 38 is an IOR-inspired boat, so it looks really cool and looks really fast, but that is its shortcoming. Like many IOR designs, it heels really aggressively, and that can be exhausting for offshore passages with crew. You want your crew to be comfortable, not to be walking on the walls the whole time. The narrow beam and pinched stern limit interior space, and it's built more for speed than durability. And just so you know, all of these IOR boats that have that sloped transom in the back and the raised stern, those are because of an old racing rule where these boats were designed to heel over, lengthen the water line, and kind of get past that rule. Well, the thing is, we don't even use IOR rules anymore, and why would you want to buy a boat that was made poorly just to get around a racing rule? It's stupid. Don't buy an IOR boat. It's the time for those has come and gone. There's way better designs now. And Catalinas are great boats. I've seen people cruising on Catalinas all over the world. I saw a girl take a Catalina 30 from Seattle to Ecuador via Galapagos Islands. And yeah, the boat was trashed afterwards, but she made it and it was fine. So Catalinas are good boats. It's just this IOR version of the Catalina 38, not the best boat. All right, number 5, the Gulfstar 37. So I'm not a big fan of Gulfstars. The problem is with the early models. So the early production boats like the 37 are a cautionary tale, guys. They cut corners on fiberglass work, and that led to issues like deck delamination and poorly secured fittings. The later boats are solid, but the earlier models of Gulfstars, stay away from them. Okay, let's talk about boat number 6, the Hunter 37 Legend. All right, the Hunter 37 Legend may seem like a great deal, but its lightweight construction and limited tankage are major downsides for a cruising boat. Hunters are for day sailing. They are not inherently bad boats, but I personally would never buy a Hunter to go offshore. I have seen Hunters offshore anchored in remote anchorages, very few of them, and they sail around on anchor more than any other boat I've seen just because they're so light and they're not designed to be cruising boats. And also I saw a big one that torsionally twisted, so like the whole boat twisted different ways because of the flex of the hull, and they had big teak rails that were running up the sides of the boat, and both of those rails snapped in half. That's how much it torsionally twisted. So if I were you, I would stay away from all the Hunters, especially the Hunter 37 Legend, okay? Coastal cruiser, day boat, live aboard, great boats. Offshore, not built for that. Okay, boat number 7, the Columbia 45. So the Columbia 45 looks like a boat that you can get a crap load of boat for the money, but don't be fooled. It is not made for offshore. It has very poor cockpit drainage, and the hull has flexing issues. These two things put together spell trouble in any kind of offshore heavy sea situation. This one is a risky choice for anybody that's going offshore. Best to avoid it. You can find way better boats for sale. Boat number 8, the Endeavour 37. Now, much like the Gulfstar 37, I am talking about the earlier models of the Endeavour. Later models did improve, but the earlier models were plagued with issues. They had weak fiberglass work, underpowered rigging. They just weren't designed correctly at first. And that goes for any boat, really. If you buy the first couple models of any new boat that comes out, you're buying the guinea pig version, which they have since changed. So if you buy the 10th hull or the 20th hull or the 100th hull, they've worked out that and re-engineered it back into the boat by that point. So if you're looking for hull numbers, hull number 1 is not really the best hull to buy. And in the Endeavour 37's case, anything pre-1980, you want to kind of stay away from it. All right? When you're choosing a life partner, do you go after the most high maintenance person you can find? Well, then you're going to love boat number 9, the Choy Lee Offshore 38. Now, I personally really like Choy Lees. I think they're beautiful boats, but they are so much work, especially this one. The teak decks are prone to rot. It's old. It's going to need all the systems modernized, especially if you find one less than 50 grand. A great man once told me, some nail 'em, some sail 'em. If you want to be the sailor version of that, stay away from the Choy Lee Offshore 38. All right, let's round it off with boat number 10. This is the CNC 40. This is also an IOR-inspired racer cruiser. And remember what I said about IOR boats? They're built with that racing rule in mind to cheat the racing rule, and they have those long sloping back ends. And when they heel over, which they all heel over a lot because they're thin boats that are long and they're made to heel to defeat that IOR rule. So when they do that, they're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable on long passages. The pinch stern limits the interior space. And this one specifically has a bit lightweight construction for anything offshore in rough weather. These are fast boats and they are very fun to sail, but not the right boat for offshore. So there you have it. That's 10 boats under 50K that I would recommend you avoid if you want to go offshore cruising. Remember, just because a boat's affordable doesn't mean it's a good option offshore. Sometimes spending a little more money up front will give you that peace of mind and you'll get a boat that's actually built for the purpose. So what boats would you add to this list? What are the worst sailboats you can imagine under 50K for anybody to buy? Leave a comment below and let me know. Also, if you'd like to see what boats to buy under 50K, I did a live stream and that's right here. And you can click on that and you can see me going through Yacht World at that moment and saying, okay, this is what I'm searching for, this is a criteria that I like, and we'll go and talk about all the boats that are available under 50K right now, today. It's December 31st, 2024. It's the last day of the year. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope your 2025 is amazing. I've got some cool plans for you guys, and if you'd like to see those and you'd like to see more content like this, please like and subscribe and turn on the notification button. Also, if you'd like to book my time in more of a consultant role, that is buyer's agent or consulting or refitting your boat in Colombia, you can do that here. So much love, everybody, and I'll see you next year. Peace and love.